I began friendzoning my wife after being rejected for years, and now she's not talking to me. We've been married 15 years, 2 kids, 12 and 9, house in the suburbs. From the outside, we look like the perfect family, and honestly, we were for a long time. The first 8 years were incredible. We couldn't keep our hands off each other. Even with toddlers running around, we'd find time, spontaneous, passionate, connected. Then something shifted. At first it was subtle. She was tired more often, stressed from work. The kids were demanding. I understood. I backed off, gave her space. But the rejections started stacking up. Not tonight. Maybe this weekend. I have a headache. I'm not in the mood. I started counting because I thought I was being dramatic. I wasn't. In the last 4 years, I've been rejected over 200 times. I tried everything. I took over more chores thinking she was overwhelmed. I planned date nights thinking we needed romance. I suggested therapy thinking something deeper was wrong. She said she was fine, said she still found me attractive, said I wasn't doing anything wrong, but the answer was still no. Every single time. The worst part wasn't even the rejection itself. It was the hope. Every time I'd think maybe tonight will be different. Maybe she missed me too. And then I'd get that look, that apologetic half smile that meant not happening. After a while, the hope started feeling like poison. About 8 months ago, something inside me snapped. Not in an angry way, more like exhaustion. I realized I couldn't keep living in this cycle. The hoping, the rejection, the disappointment, the shame. It was eating me alive. So I made a decision. I was going to train myself to stop wanting her. Every time an intimate thought about her crossed my mind, I'd shut it down immediately. I'd tell myself the thought is inappropriate, like she was a coworker, a friend, someone completely off limits. The first few weeks were brutal, but I kept at it, redirecting, suppressing, replacing those thoughts with anything else. By month 3, it started working. I stopped looking at her that way, stopped hoping, stopped hurting. We'd watch TV together, and I'd feel nothing. She'd get out of the shower, and I wouldn't even glance. I had successfully turned my wife into a roommate in my own mind, and honestly, I felt relief. She didn't notice at all. Not for 5 full months. We still talked, laughed, co-parented. Everything seemed normal. I think she actually seemed happier because I wasn't pressuring her anymore. Then 3 weeks ago, everything changed. We were in bed, and she rolled over and started kissing my neck. She was initiating for the first time in maybe 2 years, and I felt nothing. I told her I was tired. The next morning, she tried again. I said I had errands. Something about being available whenever she finally decided she wanted me made my stomach turn. That night, I found her crying in our bedroom. She said she felt like I didn't love her anymore. I told her everything. The 200 rejections, the mental training, the 6 months rewiring my brain to survive. She started yelling, accused me of cheating, said she couldn't help how she was. I told her I accepted her completely, but I needed her to accept me too. We talked in circles for 3 hours. She slept on the couch. Since then, 12 days of silence. Then she left for her sister's house. Said she needed space. While she was gone, I found it. A journal hidden in her closet. I shouldn't have opened it, but I did. Pages and pages. Some entries over 3 years old. She wrote about feeling guilty for pushing me away, about being terrified I'd give up and leave. One entry said I wanted to go to him, but I froze. What if he rejects me? I can't lose him. She'd been rejecting me because she was afraid of losing me. I drove to her sister's house that night. Didn't call first. Just showed up at 11 p.m. with the journal in my hand. Her sister answered the door looking furious, but I pushed past her and found my wife sitting at the kitchen table with swollen eyes. I put the journal down in front of her. She looked at it and her face went pale. Before she could say anything, I told her I read it, all of it, and I finally understood. She started crying again, but this time she didn't push me away. She told me everything. How the rejections were never about me. How she'd convinced herself that if she kept me at a distance, it wouldn't hurt as bad when I eventually left like her father did. How every time she wanted to reach for me, something inside her screamed that she wasn't enough, that I'd figure it out eventually and go find someone better. We talked until 4 a.m., real talking, not circles. She agreed to therapy, not couples therapy, individual therapy first, to work through the abandonment issues she'd been carrying since she was 6 years old. I agreed to be patient, actually patient, not the resentful patience I'd been offering before. We both agreed that the last 4 years had broken something between us, but broken doesn't mean destroyed. That was 2 months ago. She's been seeing a therapist every week. I started going too. We're not fixed. We still have hard nights, but last week she reached for my hand during a movie, and I let her take it. It wasn't fireworks. It wasn't passion. It was just her hand in mine, and for the first time in years, that felt like enough.